Hi everybody, in this video we're going to be having a look at the swept blend feature and see how we can join two shapes together to form one 3D solid. Okay, so the swept blend feature works a little bit like the sweep feature in that you need to provide a path along which the component will be blended. So we start off by sketching. Okay, and we're just going to use a straight line. It doesn't have to be a straight line, but for this demonstration purposes we'll just keep it very simple. Change this to 200 and click OK. Now what I want to do is join a circle to a square. Now the first thing that I need to do obviously is draw a circle. So on this plane, so on the end of this line, so I'm going to select this plane and then go sketch. I'm going to create a circle. So let's go sketch view and let's generate a circle. Okay, let's change this to 50. Okay, now what we have to do is make sure that the sections of each sketch match. So if you draw a square, you have 4 corners, so that means that the line will be in 4 sections. Okay, now with a circle you only have one section, it's a continuous line, so what we need to do is break this circle down into sections. Now to do that it's very straightforward. So if we come along to the top here, you'll see this tool called divide. So this allows us to divide an entity into different sections. So what I want to do is click on that, and then I'm going to divide it into 4 on these points here, so I can snap to these quadrants. So if I just click there, you'll see that I get a little point there. If I click there, 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 I now have 4 sections. Okay, so this is going to make my life a lot easier when I try to merge the two shapes later. So if I click OK, what have I got? I've got a line and a circle here. Now I want to draw a square at the other end of this line. So to do that I actually need to add a datum plane. So I'm going to go plane up here, I'm going to click the end, I'm going to click this line, and I'm going to click this face here. Oh, wait. So I need to add a datum plane. So to do that I come up to plane, and then I should be able to snap onto the end of this line. You'll see that the cursor changes. So if I just left click, it brings up a plane, okay, along that line. Now that's not what I want, but I can add another reference. So if I've clicked that point, and now if I press Control and I click this plane, you see here, so I've got my first reference is through that point, so the plane is going to be along that point. And then my second reference is parallel to this plane. So that's exactly how I want this to be. So I'll click OK. Now I just need to go sketch. Let's go to sketch view, and I want to draw a rectangle. I'm going to use the slanted rectangle tool. So if I can actually use the sketch that I've previously done. So if I click here, and then move out, so I've got a slanted rectangle, okay, on my plane. So I've accepted that, so I've got 2 sketches and a line. So now it's time to use the swept blend tool. So if I click on this line, click swept blend, see again we end up with a start point, an end point, and this is the path from which our blend would occur. So if we come up to the top here and go to reference, you see this just tells us where the origin is and the trajectory. There are various things you can play around with in here, but the important one is sections. Now you can sketch the sections within the tool, but I've done them separately, so I'm going to click select sections. And so if I click on this first one here, there's my first section, and you'll see that I have 4 segments. Now that's from when I broke down this sketch. And then if I click insert, I can click on this next one here. Okay, so you can see it's tried to merge them together, but obviously it's got a little bit confused. It doesn't really know where this section starts relative to this section, so it's kind of crossing over. So what we can do is modify these. So if I take this, I can drag it to a different corner. Okay, so that's starting to look a little bit better. It's starting to merge quite well. But if I move it to this one, you can see now I've got all the lines joining up how you'd imagine they would from the way I drew it. Okay, so that's how you can basically take two shapes that are not the same and then merge them together. It'd be quite difficult to make this geometry in any other way, really. So we can accept that. Now you can see that we've got a circle that continuously merges onto a square.